Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Budapest. I hope everybody is having a good weekend so far, staying healthy, staying strong. In this class, we are looking at how to finish a nice Band 9 essay for writing task 2 of the IELTS exam. Now, this is an example from the academic exam, but it's kind of the same in the general IELTS exam as well. So pay attention regardless if you're general or academic student. The lab is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we have lots and lots of help for you to improve your band scores the next time you sit the test. Hi, Sammy. Good to see our members in the class. This is a members chat class, everyone. Of course, you're welcome to watch. In about 90 minutes, we will have an all chat class coming up for speaking part 3 of the exam. This is our academic website here at aehelp.com. You can click that big red button to join us there. And for the general version, check out this website here, green background, gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join there. If you have questions, just send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. Of course, you can get our exam books from Amazon as well. Search for aehelp's Academic IELTS or ghelp's General IELTS on Amazon and you can get our exam books. Make sure to choose the right version for your exam. Now again, we're going to finish task 2 that we started yesterday. We'll review the question and the introductory paragraph, and then we will work on the body paragraphs together with our members and the conclusion as well. Hi Jainil, hi Abhishek, hi Hemant, Pavan, Hassan, Rajveer. Nice to see all of you in the class. All right, let's get right into it. So, yesterday we looked at kind of an interesting question. It seems simple at first glance, but at deeper analysis, we can see that it takes quite a bit of thinking to have a good response for this. So this was our question here. IELTS task 2 writing. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Some people believe that nowadays people have too many choices. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? For this kind of question, you can completely agree, completely disagree, and in rare cases, you can agree somewhat. Most cases, you should either agree or disagree with the statement. So keep that in mind. It's more difficult to write an essay where you both agree and disagree. So there's an expression for that in English. We say the person is wishy-washy. Wishy-washy means indecisive. Okay? So it's not good to be indecisive. It's not good to sit on the fence. That's the idiom for this situation. Sitting on the fence means yes, no, somewhere in the middle, maybe. Those are more difficult essays. They're less exciting for the reader as well. Hi, Beck John. All right, so yesterday we discussed what it means to have choices. And of course, logically, I mean, we didn't really touch on this yesterday, but logically, people generally put a lot of effort into having more choices. So more choices arguably is almost always a positive for people. Okay, the more choices we have, the better decisions, the better outcomes we can reach. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these kinds of questions. And I think as Bekjan and Rajveer and a couple other members said yesterday, it's good to think about these questions, not just in these very general theoretical concepts, but think of specific examples where in your life you've had many choices and how that might be to your benefit. Okay, so we came up with our thesis statement after doing our planning. Although some individuals may ascertain that people these days have too many options, I strongly disapprove of this notion, as more choices empower both individuals and society to prosper. Okay, good. So now from this, we can create our introductory paragraph, and I have created my introduction. I'm going to keep it a little bit behind closed doors until I get some suggestions from our members. So members, those of you who finished the homework I asked for yesterday, writing the hook and the background information, please put that into the chat so I can give you some feedback. Rajveer asked a really good question yesterday: how do I transition from the hook into the background? And I mentioned that context is very important, and this is very true. So your topic should be included in your hook, okay? And apparent, of course, in the background as well. Okay, so Jainil says, choices make created future. Choices make created our future. Jainil, you definitely have to check the grammar there. It's very confusing. It is a range of options and decisions to achieve physical and abstract goals in a person's life. Therefore, humans have needs and desires. Okay, Jainil, careful with your grammar. Really, really check your grammar. Jainil, I highly recommend putting your writing into an online document using Grammarly. Grammarly has a free piece of software that's quite good to give you feedback on your grammar mistakes. So use that, because I think you have some good ideas, but your language use is making it really confusing. So your band score would be quite low for that, okay? All right, Rajveer says, nowadays choices are available in almost every sphere of life. Yeah, I like it, Rajveer. That's good. It means that there are a lot of choices. Yeah, I think that's a great hook, Rajveer. Nowadays, choices are available in almost every sphere of life, and this is very true. Okay, Bhumi says, humans are surrounded by thousands of choices these days. Bhumi, that's also very good. So have a look at both Rajveer and Bhumi's hook. Both of those include the clear topic, choices, and they both make some statements that get the reader kind of excited about what they will read next. Both of them are simple, and the grammar and content are accurate and clear. So that's very good, Rajveer. Bhumi, good, good. Okay, great job. All right, Bekjan says, every day people make thousands of decisions to achieve desired goals. Desired goals, because you're making thousands of decisions and it's people, so you have a lot of plurals there, Bekjan, so it's goals. Otherwise, it's a good hook. Whether it is based on knowledge or information, all individuals want to choose the best ones by using rational and logical thinking. Okay, that's good background, Bekjan. I like it. Okay, Sammy says, in everyone's life, choices are a must, and they are very useful for better futures. Sammy, don't limit yourself to just careers, right? We make choices for careers, for education, for consumerism. So we have choices in many spheres of life, as Rajveer very clearly put, and it's very true. So don't limit to just careers, because then it sounds like your essay will be about career choices, okay? But it's more than that in this case. Abhishek says, in today's era, humans have more choices than ever in the past. Abhishek, good, but finish the idea. In today's era, humans have more choices than ever, okay? And not having more choices, just have. Present, simple, general, okay? Hassan says, the availability of many choices enable individuals in society not only to think ahead, but also to know how. Hassan, that's a little bit tricky. Ahead is one word, okay? Not ahead, but it's ahead. Ahead is one word, okay? A-H-E-A-D, all in one word. It's a bit complex, Hassan. It's a bit philosophical. I think for the IELTS, you don't need to get that fancy. You run the risk of making mistakes, so careful with that. Rashika says, the availability of too many options make life happy. Rashika, remember what I said yesterday, that too many is a negative? So for a native speaker in native English, saying too many choices make a happy life doesn't make sense. Okay, so here, Rashika, you just have to say the availability of many choices make a happy life. Then it's a good hook, okay? But not too many, because too many is negative and it doesn't make sense with happy life. It's conflicting, okay? So remember that, students, what I said yesterday, too many means something is negative. There's too much of it, okay? Less would be better, all right? Rajveer says, it is a range of options and decisions which aid people to select the best fit for their needs and wants. Yeah, Rajveer, I think that's part of your background. Okay, that's definitely a definition that you're giving there, so that should be your background. Okay. All right, Janil says, logical and rational thinking to make better outcomes in their entire life. Janil, again, that's background information. For background, it's okay. All right, Rajveer says, these choices play a significant role in everyday decision making through logical and rational thinking. All right, nice use of vocabulary, by the way, students, with rational and logical. That's looking good. All right. Hi, Zahab. Welcome aboard. All right. Shahataj, welcome to our group of members. Send me an email later so I can get you those exclusive videos. My email is at the beginning of the lesson. You will see it there. Okay. All right. Haman says, making choices have become more significant over the course of time. I'm not sure if that's true, Haman. Have making choices become more significant over the course of time? I think choices had their own significance in the past. Careful with the accuracy of information, students. Okay, I think that's difficult to logically argue that choices have become more significant. Might be a little bit off topic there, Haman. Careful with that. Samuel says, choices play an important role in the advancement of our lives. The variety of options to choose from in abstract and physical situations has never been better due to the onset of globalization. Samuel, really nice start to the introduction. So I can see your hook there, and I can also see your background information. Members, viewers, take a look at Samuel Sadir's hook and background. Think about this question and then read Samuel's response. It's a very nice response, very nice use of English. It's an accurate hook, and it's very good definition to the background of this information. So Samuel, that's a great job, okay? That's definitely on par for a Band 9 essay. So nicely done. Okay, and then Samuel finishes by saying the range of choices has been increasing from the choice of ice creams to work choices. These choices demand apt decision making to the betterment of people's future. Yeah, Samuel, that's okay. I think you're going a little bit into too much detail there for the introduction. So maybe just a tiny bit more for the previous and then right into your thesis. So careful not to over detail the introduction. Okay. Janil says, choices enable our desired future, or make our desired future. I think that's very good, Janil. That's much better. Okay, so here's my introduction, my introductory paragraph all together. And you can see it's not that long, but it has all of the components needed for this introduction to have the high band score. Okay, so here's my hook. People seem to have more choices nowadays than ever before. Okay, whether that's true or not, who knows, right? But definitely it seems that way. So people seem to have more choices nowadays than ever before. Each and every day, individuals make hundreds of decisions based on their needs and wants from the plethora of information, situations, and products presented to them. It is each individual's capacity to choose which shapes their life and the world around them. Okay, so take a look at this hook and background. Okay, my hook, I use the topic. I keep it quite simple, and I speak directly to the question, right? The question says people these days have too many choices. So what do I say? People seem to have more choices nowadays than ever before, but I don't say too many, I just say more choices, okay? Now here, each and every day, individuals make hundreds of decisions. So right away, I take this qualitative language and I use some quantitative information, hundreds of decisions, to give the reader this idea of so many choices. Okay, so when you are giving your definition in the background, really keep in mind this quantitative, definitive approach. Okay, everybody clear on that? So quantification in your background can really help to give quick clarity for your reader about the topic of your essay. Okay? So, and what is it connected to? Our choices are connected to our needs and wants. Okay? And that favorite word that everybody has during the IELTS, from the plethora of information, situations, and products presented to them, right? So these days we have a lot of information on our phones, through media, TV. We have a lot of different situations with friends, family, colleagues, and we have a lot of products that we look at, clothes, electronics, foods, and so on, that are presented to us. It's because often these days we don't really need to search for objects and for situations. They just come at us, right? I don't know about you, but my phone is always ringing with notifications. So, and then here it is the importance. So this is the definition, and then here's the importance of having a lot of choices and people choosing, right? It is each individual's capacity. Capacity here means ability to choose, which shapes their life and the world around them. So that's why this question is so important to have clarity on, because really our choices and the availability and what we do with those shapes the world. Okay? And then simply the thesis here. So we're familiar with the thesis, and here point number 1, choices empower individuals and society to prosper. So point number 1, empower individuals to prosper. Okay, so that's where we're going to continue now for body paragraph 1. So in body paragraph 1, now we have to clearly tell our reader in our topic sentence what we mean when we say that choices empower individuals to prosper. Okay, so define. Okay, and that will equal your topic sentence. So I wonder if anybody went ahead and kind of thought about this already. So what does it mean that choices empower individuals to prosper? And I think we've talked about this quite a bit, so it's just a matter of writing it down. So how does that work? How do many choices help people to become more prosperous than perhaps in the past? Okay, think about that and give me your topic sentence. I'm going to do the same. I'll just give you a little bit of a head start here so that you can get ahead in the fishing game and catch us a nice fish before we continue. So what are we talking about here that choices empower individuals to prosper? So Rajveer says the abundance of choices enable individuals to think logically, to think logically and rationally in order to obtain optimal results. Okay, yeah. So I would say something the same, Rajveer. So the right? So maybe something like that. Boomy says people can choose a variety of products as per their economical status, which ultimately saves more money. Yeah, Boomy, that's one way to say it. I think, Boomy, that you're a little bit ahead of the topic sentence. I think you're more into the explanation. So if I ask, well, what do you mean more choices? Then you can say, well, for instance, by being able to choose from a variety of products, people can choose a product that serves their needs the best, and therefore they can complete their tasks more efficiently. So, Boomy, I think you're one step ahead of the topic sentence. I think you're a little bit closer to the explanation. Beckjohn says, choosing an option from 100 assists people to reach their desired life. Yeah, and I would say maybe, Beckjohn, something like to reach more accurately their desired life goals, right? So the more options we have, the more accurately we can get what we really want. So let's say that, again, think about the small and then think about big. So let's say I go to an ice cream shop, right? And I feel like chocolate, okay? So I want to have some chocolate ice cream. Now, in the past, there was one ice cream that was chocolate ice cream, and that's what you ate. But these days, when you go to the ice cream shop, they might have some Belgian chocolate ice cream, they might have milk chocolate ice cream, caramel chocolate. So if you don't like dark chocolate, you might say, oh, look, I'm really feeling like some milk chocolate ice cream. So I can more accurately select what fits best for me, okay? Samuel says, the myriad of choices is assisting each individual proclivity to study and advance in their preferred field. Or you can say, Samuel, in their specified field, so being more specific, right? Hassan says, a variety of choices has encouraged individuals to select the best options that suits their needs on a daily basis. Hassan, I think that works really well. Okay, that's a very good topic sentence. Abhishek says, there are plenty of choices for individuals. Not only does it help them to fulfill their desired needs, but it also helps them to decide logically. Good, Abhishek. Just a little correction on parallel grammar form there. Okay? All right. So here's my topic sentence. The multitude of options these days lend way is just a fancy way to say allow, for people to make better decisions and thereby gain better outcomes. So all I'm saying here is that when we have many choices, that gives us the ability to make better decisions and thereby gain better outcomes. Okay, let's explain that. So what do we mean by that for the individual to prosper? So can we explain that? Now think quantitative, think examples here that you can use. So explanation. Okay. So what do you mean that if you have more choices, you can reach better outcomes? Okay. Why is that? Think about the why here. So why am I able to create a more precise, better goal if I have more choices? Okay. All right, Shahataj Bano says, an increased number of choices that are available to mankind today enables them to make decisions not only logically but also rationally to better suit their needs and desires. Okay, I think that works really well. Very nice grammar, Shahataj. Logically, rationally, they're kind of synonyms, so we don't need to double on that. Okay. Sammy says, choices in one's life play a very important role. They give individuals great and prosperous life, either in education or work. Yeah, I think, Sammy, you're on the right track there. So you're getting more specific. Education, work, relationships as well, right? So let's explain that. What do we mean by that? So give me some explanations, okay? All right. So just kind of moving along here, students, moving along nice and steady. All right, Janiel says a lot of options these days are used by people to create good decisions and obtain better outcomes. So that's still your topic sentence, Janiel, right? Which is okay. We're looking for the explanations. Why is that? So again, think about more people on Earth, more choices available to us. How does that serve the individual in a better way? And if you've been reading what I wrote, then you kind of got a head start. All right, so while you're thinking about your explanation, I might as well read mine. So since each individual is unique in their talents and experiences, the more tools, right? Tools in this case, I'm using it quotations because tools here means options, okay? They have at their disposal. At their disposal just really means the opportunity to use, okay? So here I'm continuously pushing you to learn new grammar, new expressions. Make sure to review these, write them down, learn them, okay, students? So the more tools they have at their disposal, the better they can use them to optimize their skills, whether for work, school, or relationships, right? So just like we talked about, because each one of us is unique, and each one of us has a different set of skills or talents, the more options that we have to match with those talents and skills, to maximize those talents and skills, which is partly our desires, needs, and wants, the better we can use those for our own success. And then I think, well, okay, what are we talking about here? So, well, we're talking about primarily work, school, our living conditions, right? House, apartment, so on, and our relationships, who we befriend, who we marry, who we take on as business partners. So all of these ideas, okay? All right. Samuel says, the subtle nuances in choices assist people to optimize not only their workflow, but also their daily life, to make the best use of their situation and resources. Very nice, Samuel. Beautifully put. Quite synonymous to what I said, but not quite the same, right? So if we read Samuel's, it's a little bit different than mine, but still beautifully explained. Best use of our situations, resources. Of course, one that I thought of, Samuel, when I read yours right away, is best use of our situation, comma, time and resources. Now, time is part of our resources, right? It's arguably our greatest resource is time. And having options definitely allows us to optimize our time as well, as long as we're using our choices in a clever way. So very good, Samuel. That makes me think. It's a good explanation. If we were in a philosophy class, philosophy of society, and what would it be? Philosophy of culture, maybe, then I would definitely give you a high score for that in this essay. Okay, so Bhumi Chatbar says, when individuals are provided with more than 10 kinds of products with different specifications, they can make the best decision as per the requirements of their finance or budget. Bhumi, use, especially for academic IELTS, use more technical words. Pocket is okay, but I think budget would be a better word there. So budget and situation, right? Because you don't just choose based on your budget, but you also choose based on your needs of the situation, right? Yeah, requirements is good, Bhumi. Yeah. Okay, I'll take that last comment back, Bhumi, because I see you have requirements in there, so it's good. As per their requirements and budget. As per their requirements and budget. Good. Bekjan says, because of having more options in many spheres of life, such as education, work, and products, individuals can choose the best ones to make their life better, thereby reaching prosperity. Very good, Bekjan. Very nice. So quite synonymous with Samuel, quite synonymous with what I wrote here. and it makes a lot of sense. That's great. Hi, Carolina. Nice to see you in the class. Okay, good. Keep going, students. And if some of our members are taking a little bit more time to write these sentences, please write them anyway. So I'd like to see some sentences from you, more sentences, Abhishek. I'd like to see more sentences from a couple people. Parmar, I would love to see some more sentences from you as well. Rashika, more sentences. This is not a competition. We are only competing with ourselves and developing our skills. And even if you are still writing your answer for a previous part, like the topic, that's fine. I will know that from content. So just please keep pushing forward, okay? It's not a race, all right? I want to give all of our members a chance to express themselves. So please do that, all right? Push forward. You're only competing with yourself, okay? Obviously, there are different levels of students here with different backgrounds in English and also in experience, right? Some of our members are master's students. Some of our members are bachelor students. Some of our members are professionals in their careers. So I'd like to see everybody's input. All right, so now comes the example. And the example should be something taken from real life. Now, because this is a first-person essay, and this has to be a first-person essay. So students, when you have this kind of option, like to what extent do you agree or disagree, it's really clearly a subjective opinion here, okay? So it's your subjective view as the author. So using the first-person voice here is definitely okay for this question. And your example should use some first-person voice here that clearly presents this topic and explanation that you have more choices so you're able to prosper more in life, okay? And I think the explanation, once you have this, is possibly the easier part of this essay, okay? So just make sure to write it clear. Of course, think about your next paragraph and think about maybe I can use some kind of personal example that will also help me to show how society can prosper through that example as well. Okay. Shaktaj says, the more opportunities available, the better position an individual is to pick their tailored needs and ultimately optimize their talent and experiences. Shaktaj, very complex sentence, careful with your grammar, but yeah, that makes sense. So the more opportunities available, comma, the better position an individual is to pick the best one that tailors to their needs and ultimately optimizes their talent and experience. Okay, good. All right, Rajveer says, I was fond of computers. Unfortunately, computer science option was available for higher education in India, which aided me to reach my professional target to become a software engineer. Okay, yeah, and Rajveer, it's very good. I would maybe plug in, so keep the controlling idea in mind, maybe plug in many options. So I was fond of computers, and fortunately, there are many options in computer science for higher education in India, which helped me to reach my professional target to become a software engineer, because software engineering is a specific domain of this situation, right? So I'll just take Rajveer's here. I could take anybody's, but yeah. So I have been fond of computers all my life, and since there are many options in computer science for higher education in India, this has allowed me to pursue my passion as a software engineer. And by doing so, becoming prosperous. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a great example. Okay, so obviously education and career goals and having many options in that is a big part of this. So very good. Okay. That works. That's a good example, and I think we can use that, right, Rajveer, in the next one as well. Hassan says, the last time I went to buy a t-shirt, I had to choose either Adidas for $60 or a red light t-shirt for $25. Each option had its own benefits, and I was able to make the choice that suited me best. Yeah, Hassan, good. I would finish that idea. Okay, finish the idea. Jainil says, each person has achieved different types of skills and talents in the workplace and education through choosing from a multitude of options specific to their own life needs. Yeah, students, don't forget that controlling idea, many options, right? You want to keep reminding your reader that many options is a good thing. Okay, it's a good situation to have. All right? Okay. So, Samuel says, for instance, while buying a vehicle nowadays, people buy cars which suits their needs, such as paint, trunk size, and number of seats. This allows people to customize their vehicles and make the best use of their finances without paying for options such as a sunroof, which they would not use. Samuel, don't use contractions in your academic essay especially. Would not use. Okay? All right? Otherwise, it's good. Definitely having a lot of options in cars is not a bad thing. Yeah, I like how you visualize that. I think that's a very good contextual concept to help you with this essay. Okay. Beckjohn says, for example, in order to pursue my master's degree abroad, I can select from 100 universities approved by government-funded scholarships, which allows me to find the best one according to their reputation and teaching style. Yeah, very nice, Beckjohn. So choosing a university and having a lot of options. Just think about that, right? Not so long ago, people only had a few options for university. Nowadays, it's amazing how many options people have for school. And just think how fast society will advance in the next 100 years because the people of today, the young people of today, can choose from so many different universities around the world to optimize their learning, their desires, their passions, their skills. That's a really good example, Beckjohn. And I think that is a very good choice for the second body paragraph example as well. Okay, so nicely done. All right. Boomy says, choices that too with 10% discount. This way I save $2,000 on buying it. Okay, Boomy, specify, what are you talking about? Okay, so what kind of choice in shopping? All right. Sammy says, when I wanted to get a job soon after my studies, initially I tried to find employment in the banking industry, but I could not get one, though I attended 3 to 4 companies. Later, I got into a finance company since I had many choices. And in this way, I could prosper, right? You can make money and live a good life. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, Boomy, okay. Sorry, Boomy, I didn't see that. Thank you. So Boomy says, last year when I had visited a two-wheeler vehicle showroom, they showed me 4 different versions of Activa, ranging from 45,000 to 60,000 rupees, and I bought a 5G Activa since it was the best out of their choices. Yeah, that's very good. Boomy, that works. Okay. All right. Now, again, students, think about your second body paragraph. So here, I think product choices might be a little bit more challenging to incorporate with your second body paragraph where society prospers by people having lots of choices. So I might go with something like work or school on this one instead. Okay, that's if you're looking forward in your essay. All right, now let's do a connecting concluding sentence. So here, keep it simple. This is one of two reasons that I do not support the idea of people having too many choices these days. Okay, that sentence should only take you 10 seconds to write in the actual exam. You're just taking words basically from the question itself, right? And then here, I start body paragraph 2. And body paragraph 2 is society prospers, right? So society prospers from people having many choices, right? Yeah, Boomy, that works. Nice job, Boomy. So Boomy says, indeed, this proves that having too many choices is not bad. Rather, it is quite good. Yeah, Boomy, very good. That works. Okay, a little bit of grammar, a little bit of word choice, but very good. Okay, that works as your connecting, concluding sentence. Absolutely. All right, good job. Okay, so topic sentence, society prospers from people having more choices. Okay, so all right, there's mine. So keeping it fairly simple. Okay. So Rajveer says, skillful individuals who make the best use of their potentials are the real assets for a community. Very nice, Rajveer. Very nice. That will work. Okay. It's a different approach than mine, but makes a lot of sense, and I can see where you're going with it. Okay. Beckjan says the availability of myriad of choices not only helps individuals but also society, which becomes more advanced as a result. Very nice, Beckjan. Again, a third approach, but also very good. Okay, so we're all kind of looking at the same idea, just presenting it differently. Okay. Notice also, students, and I love to emphasize this, notice how you're not really using any connective words. So none of you are saying secondly or on the other hand or so on and so forth. You're just going right into the information. And that information, because it's so well connected, doesn't necessarily require a connective word. In fact, for those of you going abroad to study in English-speaking universities, you will discover that professors generally don't like it when students use too many connective words in their essays, because it should always be information that connects information. And when you're doing a good job of that, a lot of connective words almost become unnecessary. They just become fillers. Okay. Now, I used one here in spite of that. So I used furthermore. Okay. Furthermore means like plus one. Okay. Like and one. All right. So furthermore, societies are able to develop and increase the quality of life in their communities when their citizens are presented with an abundance of choices. Okay, so basically I'm saying here that, hey, look, when you have a lot of choices for people, that will also help society to develop and increase quality of life. So I'm setting myself up for the explanation. Okay? All right. Samuel Sadir says, people working in the fields they are passionate about leads to innovations which benefit society and improve the quality of life. Very nice, Samuel. Little bit of grammar language use, but overall very nice. Okay. Hassan says, the high quality of life can increase significantly in a nation when there are a variety of options. Very nice. Okay, nice writing, students. So now comes the explanation. All right. When individuals can accurately satisfy their needs and wants, they become much more optimistic and effective in their contributions to the greater society. Okay, so I don't know how many of you play the game Civilizations, but I'm sure a lot of people who play Sims or Civilizations, you know that one of the biggest goals in the game is to have a happy society, because then your production and your advancement and all of the other elements of your civilization increase, and you become much faster at evolving. So I think one of the greatest tricks to doing a good job in civilizations or winning is to make sure that you have happy people, and often that's of course through presenting them with choices. So that's a good kind of idea to keep in mind here. So when individuals can accurately satisfy their needs and wants, they can become much more optimistic and effective in their contributions to the greater society, and this is often achieved by presenting them with thousands of choices in their daily life. And then the example, right? Indeed, in my case, I am content as a software engineer, and my work and tax contributions play a role in benefiting society. Okay, so making that connection with the same example. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. All right. And then we don't really need a connecting sentence, so we move to the conclusion. And I'm moving along here a little bit faster just to kind of get us through this essay. I'd like you to see the whole essay, but I encourage you students to write with me. So write along with me, practice your fluency here. So for those of you especially who know what parts are needed for the conclusion, the points restated, the argument made, the take-home message, try to work on your fluency here. So try to keep speed with me, or at least try to approximate it. Okay, so All right. So there is my conclusion here. I'm using information that I feel is clearly presented in my essay. Okay. So in conclusion, having a myriad of options in all facets of life leads to greater improvements for people and communities. Therefore, I'm strongly in favor of having as many choices presented to people as possible. In the end, it is each individual's responsibility to choose for their own betterment and the betterment of humanity. Okay, so that's my take-home message that I feel can be felt from having too many choices. Okay, all right, so that's my essay, roughly about 300 words. Okay, again, Band 9 essays will be a bit longer, so this is about 300. I will definitely post this as well in the coming days on our YouTube community posts or board. And I am very happy to see the level of improvement that many of you have made, especially students who have been in these live classes day in, day out, really putting in the time and the work. Your improvement is very obvious to me. You've improved band scores, not just one band, but several band scores since the onset of your studies. So good for you, okay? Good for you. Great job. And I can see some good conclusions coming up now as well, so that's fantastic. Students, coming up in about 30 minutes, I will be back with some speaking part 3 that will be for everyone, in the sense that everybody can join the chat. You're very welcome, Sammy. I like how Rajveer, Abhishek, you got your conclusions up roughly at about the same time. That's fantastic. Okay, and you're using some nice language there too, Abhishek. The ocean of choices. That's a nice metaphor. Okay. All right, students, for those of you watching, if you'd like to get more videos, more lessons, make sure to join us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general HD videos there for you, some practice exams, as well as interactive courses. So you're all very welcome. Zahab, you're very, very welcome. Zahab, throw some comments in, okay? It doesn't matter if you're making mistakes. I'm here to help you out. And then I'll see you in about half an hour, everyone. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Budapest for now. See you soon.